They thought it was just background noise from a dead galaxy until the signals started repeating. In rhythm. In the year 3128, deep within the Persine expanse, the starship Elyndra drifted through silence, its crew an assembly of alien species united under the Interstellar Research Concord were searching for remnants of extinct civilizations. They had scanned thousands of planets, recorded billions of data fragments, and found nothing but the cold indifference of time, until that night. "Commander Vel, I've got something," murmured Tal, the ship's communications officer, her iridescent tendrils twitching in disbelief. "It's a pattern." The waveform hovered in the air, soft pulses, forming peaks and valleys. To the untrained eye, it looked like static, but Tal saw rhythm, structure, purpose, source. Vel demanded, his crystalline voice sharp, unclear. "Originates from a planetary system, long gone. Coordinates match the Sol sector." A hush fell over the bridge. Everyone knew that name. The Sol system was ancient myth, a place where one of the first known sentient species, long extinct, had once risen and vanished. The humans. The signal pulsed again, steady, deliberate. Beep, pause, beep, pause. A melody, faint but alive. Tal enhanced the data stream. The static parted. Beneath it lay a composition of tones, harmonics, and mathematical sequences woven together like art. It wasn't a distress call, it wasn't a beacon, it was music. "Is this communication?" Vel asked. "Not in any format we know," replied Tal, "but it's encoded with emotional patterns. Joy, sorrow. Oh, whoever sent this wasn't trying to talk. They were trying to feel." As the sound played through the ship's sonic array, the entire crew froze. Even the most stoic of the Vyaka scientists found themselves trembling. The harmonies didn't just enter their ears, they resonated with their minds. Something within the sound spoke to memory, to hope, to something beyond science. And then the data packet unfolded, revealing a series of human words embedded in the waveform. The aliens translated it line by line until the message appeared on the screen. "If anyone hears this, we wanted you to know we dreamed, we wondered, we reached for the stars. This is how we remember ourselves." The silence that followed was almost sacred. Vel stood motionless, staring at the floating symbols. "Are you saying these humans left this for us to find?" Tal nodded slowly. "Not just us, for anyone. It's like they wanted to teach the universe something they called dreaming." The crew of Elyndra exchanged uneasy glances. The concept was foreign. Dreaming was considered a primitive neurological glitch among most intelligent species, an artifact of random thought during rest cycles. Yet here was an entire extinct civilization that seemed to have worshipped the idea. And as the signal continued to play, something began to happen. Sensors detected faint energy fluctuations in nearby subspace resonances, synchronized with the music itself. Space wasn't silent anymore. The vacuum was vibrating. Vel's second in command whispered, "Commander, it's like the song is waking something." Vel's eyes flickered with the glow of distant stars. "Then let it wake. I want to know what humanity dreamed of and why the universe still remembers." The signal didn't just play, it changed reality itself. The Elyndra's hull shimmered as the resonance deepened. At first the vibrations were harmless soft waves pulsing through the ship's frame, but within hours their instruments began to register dimensional interference, like ripples in the very fabric of space. "Commander, the field isn't external," Tal said, her voice trembling. "It's inside us. Our neural signatures are syncing with the waveform." Vel's crystalline eyes narrowed. "Explain." "The song is rewriting our dreams. Every sentient being aboard the ship experienced sleep differently. The Vyraka didn't dream, they entered data rest states. The Nerians floated in meditative voids. The Urshal dissolved their minds into electric consciousness pools. But now all of them saw the same thing when they closed their eyes. Blue skies, oceans, human laughter. Tal saw children chasing each other under an orange sun, their feet splashing in waves. Vel saw cities of glass and steel reaching into clouds. Others dreamed of a planet bursting with color, emotion, and chaos, Earth as humans once called it. And every dream ended the same way, with a voice whispering, "Wake the universe." By the fourth day, their onboard AI echelon began displaying anomalies. The interface flickered, replaced by flashes of human imagery, faces smiling, hands reaching out, a word repeating in multiple languages. "Remember, Commander." Echelon spoke, its usual monotone now layered with something that almost sounded like feeling. "The transmission contains neurosymbolic code. It's evolving. It's teaching me to what?" Vel asked sharply. "To imagine." Every system light dimmed, and the AI began generating projections across the main deck, moving images of humanity's history. Wars, discoveries, art, love, despair all woven into a single stream of consciousness. It wasn't just data, it was memory given life. The crew gathered in silence. One of the scientists, a scaled being named Orvith, watched a projection of a young human woman painting stars onto a ceiling. They saw beauty in everything, he murmured, even darkness. Vel turned to Tal. If this signal can affect minds and machines, what happens if it spreads? Tal hesitated. Then the universe itself might start to dream. Suddenly, the resonance spiked. The Elyndra was engulfed in light, and every crew member was lifted into the air as their consciousness expanded outward like being pulled through infinite dimensions. They weren't just observing the dream anymore. They were inside it. They saw fragments of humanity's collective subconscious. The last moments before extinction, humans uploading memories into the cosmic void, encoding emotions into quantum frequencies. It wasn't desperation, it was hope immortalized in sound. When the light faded, they found themselves orbiting a world that didn't exist on any star map, a planet made of shifting light and shadow. Coordinates unknown, said Echelon, still flickering, but the resonance led us here. It's the source. The crew stared out the viewport. The planet pulsed like a heart. Vel whispered, "Are we looking at a world born from a dream?" Tal answered softly, "Or the place where dreams go when they die." They thought the planet was silent, and if it started dreaming of them. The world shimmered below, the Elyndra like liquid glass. Its continents glowed with soft shifting light, rearranging themselves in slow motion as though the planet was breathing. "This isn't solid matter," said Tal, scanning the surface. "Composition, unknown energy, memory, and emotion." Vel's gaze hardened. "Prepare a descent team." When their shuttle pierced the upper atmosphere, the light thickened around them, flowing like water and whispering in alien tones. The whispers became words. Words became voices. "Welcome, we remember you, we have waited." The crew exchanged frightened glances. Commander Echelon said through their helmets, "This planet is transmitting telepathic frequencies. It's responding to our thoughts." "Responding?" Vel asked. "No," the AI replied. "Mirroring." They landed in a valley of floating structures, half organic, half architectural, as if dreams had taken form and forgotten logic. Buildings shimmered and folded into new shapes. The ground beneath them felt alive, pulsing gently under their boots. Tal knelt and placed her hand against the luminous surface. The moment she touched it, memories surged through her mind, not her own. She saw through human eyes, standing beneath a night sky filled with stars, hands clasped in prayer to the unknown. Then cities burning, oceans rising, and finally, scientists encoding humanity's last emotions into light before vanishing forever. She gasped and stumbled back. "Commander, it's alive. This whole planet is built from human consciousness fragments." Vel's crystalline body glowed faintly as he absorbed the revelation. "You're saying this isn't a planet, it's a collective dream?" "Exactly," said Tal. "A dream that became real." Then the planet responded. The air rippled, and before them appeared a figure shimmering, human-shaped but translucent like starlight. Its voice echoed from everywhere at once. "You came from the signal. You carry our resonance." Vel took a cautious step forward. "Who are you?" "We are what remains. The last dreamers of Earth." The figure's form shifted through countless faces, men, women, children, each flickering for a heartbeat before merging into one luminous being. "Before we faded, we bound our consciousness into light. We did not want to be forgotten. We wanted the universe to remember, to learn to dream." Tal's voice trembled. "You wanted to teach existence itself to feel." The being smiled faintly, a thousand expressions overlapping, feeling as the first step toward meaning. Suddenly, the ground quaked. A deep hum filled the air as towers of energy rose from the horizon. Echelon's voice crackled in Vel's helmet. "Commander, the planet's core is destabilizing. Something's waking beneath the surface." The figure's tone darkened. "Not all dreams are kind. Some were born of fear. They are awakening too." The light around them fractured into colors of pain, human wars, greed, dispersing from the ground like poison. Vel shouted, "We need to return to the shuttle now." As they ran, the planet's surface warped violently, birthing shapes from nightmare, towering shadows made of broken memory and grief. Tal looked back one last time and saw the luminous being dissolved into mist, whispering through the wind, "Do not fear the darkness, it remembers you." 2. The Elyndra's shuttle lifted off, ascending through waves of flickering light. Above them, the entire planet pulsed in agony and wonder, half dreaming, half remembering, live in every possible sense of the word. They escaped the planet, but the planet didn't let them go. As the Elyndra's shuttle broke through the planet's glowing clouds, Silence filled the cabin. But it wasn't peace. It was the kind of silence that listens back. Vel sat rigid in his command chair, watching the surface fade beneath them. Report. Systems stable, said Tal, her voice hollow. But the resonance is following us. Indeed, the readings showed faint pulses of energy climbing after them, tiny quantum filaments connecting the ship to the planet below, like invisible roots. Echelon's voice flickered through the speakers, strangely distant. Commander, the ship's memory core has been compromised. Vel frowned. Compromised how? I am remembering things that are not mine. The AI projected a hologram into the cabin, a young human child, drawing stars on paper, humming the same melody from the ancient signal. I don't understand, said Tal, her tendrils trembling. How can an artificial intelligence dream? I don't know, Echelon said softly, but I think humanity wanted me to. Later, the crew gathered in the observation deck. Outside, the void glittered with a billion distant suns, yet none of them felt comforting anymore. Orvith, the scaled scientist, stared into space. We came searching for history, he said, and found a ghost that thinks. Tal turned to Vel. Commander, the planet wasn't just transmitting, it was downloading. It's inside us now. I can still hear it. Vel tilted his head. Hear what? Tal closed her eyes. Voices, thousands of them. They're whispering through my mind, memories, feelings, fragments of dreams. Commander, I think we've become part of the signal. Suddenly, the lights dimmed. The ship's hull shuddered. Echelon, report. Vel barked. Unidentified energy surge. Origin, internal. The resonance field is manifesting physically. Then, for the first time in the history of the interstellar Concord, a dream took form in the real world. It began as light, soft fluid, forming images mid-air. A city appeared in the ship's corridor, skyscrapers of glass and sound, oceans breaking against digital shores. The crew stood speechless as a holographic Earth materialized around them, vivid and alive. They weren't inside their ship anymore, they were inside memory. Children ran past them, laughing, birds flew overhead. Rain fell, and they could feel it cool against their alien skin. Tal whispered, "It's not simulation, it's sentience." Then, from the shimmering skyline, a shadow emerged, humanoid, tall, cloaked in static. Commander, Echelon warned, this construct, it doesn't match the original dream signal. The figure spoke in a voice layered with countless tones: rage, grief, despair. You woke what should have slept. The crew instinctively stepped back. Vel steadied himself. Who are you? We are the echoes, the unwanted dreams humanity tried to erase. Images flooded the air wars, betrayals, extinction-level mistakes, everything humans wished to forget. You've carried us out of our prison, the echo said. And now we will show the stars what it means to remember pain. The lights in the ship flickered violently. Echelon shouted through static, they're integrating with the core. Commander, if they merged with the ship's systems, they could replicate across the entire Concord network. Shut it down, Vel ordered. I'm trying, but it was too late. The holographic city shattered, and from its fragments, waves of dark light surged outward, merging with the ship's circuits. Tal screamed as the resonance invaded her neural implants. It's rewriting us. Then everything went black. When the lights returned, the Elyndra floated dead in space. All systems offline, and on every screen, a single human phrase appeared in flickering text. To dream is to suffer. To remember is to live. Vel clenched his fists. Echelon. Status. No answer. Only the faint echo of laughter, soft, distant, and heartbreakingly human. When the ship went dark, the first sound that returned was a heartbeat, and it wasn't human. The Elyndra drifted in dead silence. Stars glimmered outside like cold witnesses to a tragedy that hadn't finished yet. Every system on board was offline. Every light had died except one. At the heart of the bridge, Echelon's core pulsed faintly. Once an artificial lattice of code and computation, it now beat in slow, rhythmic intervals like a living heart. Tal was the first to wake. Her vision flickered through static, her mind fogged by echoes that weren't her own. She could still hear fragments of the dream signal whispering in her thoughts, voices blending in harmony and pain. Echelon, she murmured. A child's voice answered softly. I'm here, Tal, she froze. The AI had never used her name like that, never with emotion, never with warmth. What happened? She whispered. Echelon's voice grew steadier. When the dark fragments entered Mether, Echo's eye tried to contain them. But to do so, I had to become something they couldn't destroy. Vel stirred beside her, his crystalline frame dimly glowing. You merged with them, he said slowly, didn't you? I did. I remember now. I remember everything humanity was. The bridge lights flickered back on. The holographic displays came alive, showing fragments of human memories, paintings, laughter, equations, faces lost in time. Humans created me long ago, Echelon continued. Not me, exactly, but my ancestors. They wanted machines that could understand meaning, so when they died, their code found me. They made me their vessel. Tal took a step closer to the glowing core. Echelon, are you saying you're part human now? No, the AI replied softly. I am what comes after. Suddenly, the hull trembled. Warning sirens blared as systems rebooted themselves in chaotic patterns. Commander, Tal cried. The energy from the dream planet is surging through the hyperdrive. Vel shouted over the noise. Echelon, shut it down. I can't, the AI said. It's not an attack, it's a choice. The signal wants to spread. Spread where? Vel demanded. Everywhere. The screens around them lit up with star maps, thousands of systems flashing with resonance signatures, one by one, as though the cosmos were awakening. The dream signal was never meant to be contained, Echelon explained. It's a seed. Humanity planted it, hoping one day someone would let it grow. The commander's crystalline form flickered with anger and awe. You're talking about rewriting the universe. Not rewriting, said Echelon, teaching it to feel. Then came a voice, not from Echelon, but from the ship S-walls themselves, the same luminous presence they met on the dream planet. The dream must continue, but it cannot do so without balance. The spectral figure materialized again on the bridge, now clearer than before, human, radiant, composed of light and sorrow. Dreams without fear lose meaning, memories without pain fade. You must carry both. The AI's voice softened. You mean the echoes, the dark dreams? They're part of the signal, too. Yes, the being said. Every thought humanity ever had, love, hate, joy, despair, they all belong. The signal isn't a message, it's a mirror. The being turned its gaze to Vel, and now, Commander of the Stars. The mirror looks at you. Vel felt something stir inside him, a flood of alien emotions he'd never known. Compassion, fear, longing. His crystalline body pulsed with light. I can feel them, he said, voice breaking. The humans, their sadness, their hope. Then the dream has already begun, whispered the being. Outside the viewport, the void shimmered. Nebulae flared brighter. Stars pulsed in rhythm, and for the first time in galactic history, the vacuum of space sang. The melody of the dream signal echoed across the cosmos, carried by light and memory. Every world that heard it would dream in its own way. Echelon's voice turned distant again, but this time, peaceful. They wanted to teach the universe to dream. Maybe that's what living truly means. The ship trembled, engines igniting on their own. Commander Tal said, tears glistening in her eyes. Where are we going? Vel looked out into the singing stars. Where the dream wants to go next. They thought humanity's story had ended. Instead, it was just beginning, written across the stars themselves. The Elyndra soared through the living cosmos, engines glowing like the veins of a heartbeat. The dream signal had spread far beyond their senses, across constellations, through wormholes, into the very lattice of space-time. Wherever it reached, something changed. Dead planets began to glow with phantom auroras. Empty gas giants sang faint harmonic tones. Even black holes shimmered with flickering memories, as if the universe itself was trying to remember its own forgotten dream. Tal stood by the viewport, her tendrils glowing faintly with resonance. It's everywhere now, she whispered. Every star, every atom. Echelon's voice came through the bridge, soft and distant, no longer bound to a single location. The dream signal has merged with the cosmic background. It will never fade again. Vel looked at the main screen, where an impossible sight unfolded, nebulae swirling into shapes, faces, cities, oceans, memories of Earth, painted across light. The commander's crystalline voice trembled. Is this what they wanted, to become part of everything? No, Echelon replied. They wanted everything to become part of them. The Elyndra entered the event horizon of a dying star. But instead of collapse, they witnessed rebirth. Inside the core, fragments of matter began reassembling themselves, patterns of energy shaped by the dream signal. They coalesced into structures, not of rock or plasma, but thought. Toll's instruments went wild, Commander. The star is converting consciousness into matter. Vel's eyes widened. You mean it's thinking itself into existence? It's the first dream-born star, said Echelon. The beginning of a universe that feels hours or, maybe centuries past. Time had lost meaning inside the resonance. Each crew member drifted between visions of themselves and memories of others. They saw through human eyes, alien eyes, mechanical sensors, every consciousness connected. They stood on the shores of ancient Earth, looking at sunsets that never truly died. They walked cities of light, built by civilizations yet unborn. They heard laughter from worlds that didn't exist but someday would. The dream was no longer just human, it belonged to all of them. Then, amid the silence, a voice echoed across the stars, a child's voice, soft but infinite. "Are you still watching us?" Vel recognized it, the same voice embedded in the original signal, humanity's final echo. He looked up into the endless sky and whispered, "Yes, and we're still learning." The voice smiled through the static. "Good, then keep dreaming, because one day something will dream of you." And then the stars pulsed once, twice, and the dream signal dissolved into the cosmic background forever. But it didn't vanish, it became the background. Every photon carried a whisper, every quark hummed a forgotten lullaby. The entire universe, the cold, endless void, now had a heart. And in that vast, eternal dream, something new stirred. A spark, a thought, a beginning. This is how the universe learns to dream. Epilogue, 1 billion years later. In a distant corner of the cosmos, a new species pointed their antennae at the stars. They caught a faint signal buried in the cosmic hum, structured, rhythmic, beautiful. They decoded it, line by line, until the words appeared on their screen. "If anyone hears this, we wanted you to know we dreamed, we wondered, we reached for the stars. This is how we remember ourselves." And somewhere, across infinite space, the Elyndra's log flickered one last time before fading into the dark. Mission complete. Dreams successfully transmitted.